Hey, so I'm gonna keep it going out here in the boonies. Literally, this is the boonies. Okay, you can see around here is the boonies. Nothing going on. Okay. Um. So I was watching WhatCulture Star Wars the other day to see how they rank the movies, and I don't think this is the first time, but this is their newest one, and I don't know if they got the finest crack in Britain, where the people do their videos, but they they were completely off. I agree with the first two and the last two of where they ranked them worst to best. Like number one worst was the Christmas Star Wars holiday special back in 1977, 78, whatever. That one was complete. Yeah, that was completely whack. And number two to that was, I think, the Ewok stuff or something like that. Again, yeah, that was horrible. Except for the cartoon was not that bad, but I'm looking at that from a kid who, maybe 7, 8 years old at the time, who watched that. But yeah, that would be that would be correct. And then the last two, as they ranked the best, was um, number two being A New Hope, and number one being Empire Strikes Back. They got those correct, but everything in between was whack. Like they ranked uh, some of the sequel movies higher than Return of the Jedi. Like that's what? Like, that's that fine crack. And and rated Phantom Menace up there in the top. I'm like, hell, Phantom Menace is not even watchable by me anymore. Like when I watch if I deign to watch the prequels, I'll watch Attack of the Clones, which is still pretty awful, but I'll watch Attack of the Clones and I'll watch Revenge of the Sith. But I can't watch Phantom Menace. It is just really unwatchable. The only part that's watchable is the last part when they fight Darth Maul. That's it. The rest of it is crap. And so after they got the first two correct for being the worst, the Christmas special and then Ewoks, I would I would have had a completely different arrangement. So after that, I don't I think they had Droids for number three. Droids wasn't that bad, but again, I'm looking at it from the nostalgia of a kid. I still wouldn't put it as three. I'll put that new cartoon Resistance as number three. Did anyone watch that shit? That was whack. Resistance would be number three for me. Um, and was and then after that, I'll put the Clone Wars, the version, not the awesome one made by George Lucas himself. I'm talking about that whack one that was made by the same guy who does Samurai Jack. Now I love Samurai Jack, but that Clone Wars thing he did was horrible, and thankfully it's not even canon. That would come next. That shit was whack. Then after that would be the Clone Wars animated movie. The only good thing about that movie was that it introduced Ahsoka Tano, but that movie was bad. Okay. And then, so I think that's most of the bad animated stuff out of the way. Then I would rank next as far as being bad. No. Okay, so then Droids, that's the last animated one. But I will still watch Droids over the Resistance and Clone Wars and all that other crap. So that is all the bad animated stuff out the way. Now we can get to the movies and the TV shows. Oh, and by the way, they rank Mandalorian really low. Mandalorian has single-handedly revived Star Wars fans' interest back into Star Wars after the abysmal sequel trilogy. So I don't know how the Mandalorian got such a low rank in this thing. I'm gonna leave a link actually showing their, so that people can watch the video and see for themselves if I'm right in my ranking or if they're right in their ranking. But their ranking is some shit because they rank Mandalorian way too lowly for me. So anyway, so now we're gonna get into the TVs and the shows now that we got all the bad animated stuff out the way. So next would be, I would say, Phantom Menace. I'm sorry, I just had to get that out of the way. Phantom Menace sucked. That's pretty bad. Okay, Phantom Menace, no, that was horrible. And after Phantom Menace, I'm gonna say, I hate to say it, because I kind of liked it. But I mean, I like all Star Wars stuff generally, except for that, like I said, that those two animated things, the Resistance and that fucking Clone Wars made by Samurai Jack creator. But other than that, I've almost liked anything Star Wars, even if it's bad. But Rise of Skywalker comes after Phantom Menace as being one of the worst movies. It just, what the fuck were they doing? It just, no. Like, I don't mind them showing new force powers from the books that weren't in the movies previously, but then they're overused as plot devices when it's like, okay, why weren't these used in other movies to do the same exact things? Okay. And yuck. So yeah, get that one out the way. After that, I'm going to say, which one? Which one should I say, guys? After that one, I'm actually going to go with Revenge of the Sith. I was hyped when it came out, and it was just so disappointing. Like, it was. I think Revenge of the Sith was the reason why they had to fill in so much stuff with comic books and books to fill in how unbelievable it was just to see Anakin just switch off like that. It just wasn't believable. You needed all that other content to show him being groomed by Senator Palpatine to become a Sith Lord, because it just didn't seem plausible how he just switched off that way. So hopefully he's going to get some redemption. The actor Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader in the new Obi-Wan Kenobi show on Disney Plus, because Revenge of the Sith just did him dirty. Okay, and a lot of people love that fighting scene between him and Obi-Wan Kenobi. To me, it just seemed unrealistic. So they're fighting on a volcano world, and are they using force powers to keep them from burning up? Like, and it's obvious that they would burn up, because once Obi-Wan took the high road, so once he sliced and diced Anakin started burning up. So were they using some sort of force power previously to keep them from burning? Like and it was just so, the movie just seemed so rushed, and it had no sort of like good dialogue in it whatsoever. So that comes after Rise of Skywalker as being one of the worst. Now from here, we're going into the ones that's kind of okay. So after that, I'm gonna go with The Last Jedi. Last Jedi sucked, but the choreography was dope. I'm not gonna even front. The choreography was dope, and I just wanted to see my man Mark Hamill play Luke Skywalker again. But unfortunately, they did him dirty. Like, the sequel trilogy in general was bad, because you had the three actors together who played Luke, Leia, and Han, and they weren't even together in one single scene together. That's bullshit. So you bring these actors back, and it can never happen again, because Carrie Fisher died, and you didn't even have them together in one scene. And then when Han dies, Leia goes over and hugs Rey? For what? That shit was crap. Okay, so Last Jedi. Only thing I will give about Last Jedi, I like the little love relationship between um, the new characters. Like, that was cool, and the way they did that Asian actress was so dirty. And then for the final movie, which is again another reason why Rise of Skywalker sucks, they just kind of threw her character to the side for the rest of the movie. You know, apparently, she had more scenes filmed, but they were cut during editing. And it was like, no, you just took those out because of all the controversy that people didn't like her character. So I don't rock with that at all. I like the characters, the new characters. It's just they weren't utilized well at all. So Last Jedi, dug the choreography, loved the fact that Mark Hamill was back, but it was a shit show. And so after that, I'm gonna go with Attack of the Clones. This is where we get into the territory where they're okay. So Attack of the Clones, I mean, we already know about these movies, so I'm not going to talk about them in length and make this a long video. But that was pretty good, other than Anakin being a whiny little bitch, which again is why a lot of people don't like Hayden Christensen. But I think the part was written that way. I don't think that was his interpretation of it. We'll see when we see Obi-Wan Kenobi next month. I think it's next month. I hope. After that would be the beginning of the sequels of the Force Awakens. I was actually psyched for that movie when it came out. The fact that you just saw a few minutes of Luke as a Master Jedi, I was so hyped for that. Okay. And Last Jedi, I just took a huge hit on it. But Force Awakens was pretty good actually. And it even showed that the black actor, like, it was obvious that he was Force sensitive. They didn't say so until Rise of Skywalker, and then they didn't even say it out like explicitly, but we implicitly understood that he was Force sensitive. But we could tell from the first movie that he was, and that was I don't know why that was cut out of the sequel. That would have been dope, having both of them being Force sensitive. But anyway, it was okay. All right. So I think that covers both the prequels and the sequel movies, right? Where they stand in my ranking. So next will come, I would say, Bad Batch. Bad Batch is all right. It's a spinoff off the Clone Wars and Rebels about clones that were mutated, so they didn't undergo the whole Order 66 thing, and they go into that. That's pretty dope. There's even a female clone that they were protecting. That was okay. And jumping from that is, I would say Rebels. Rebels was okay. It started off kind of whack, and then like 2 seasons in, it became pretty good. So that was okay. And then of course Clone Wars. Clone Wars is the shit. Like, if you don't like any of the other stuff, you could say the original trilogy and Clone Wars. Okay. So yeah, I don't even have to explain how good Clone Wars was over its many seasons. It started off, the animation was a little meh, but it got better, as well as the plots and everything. That was just all George Lucas right there. That was just pure George Lucas. Okay. Then at the Clone Wars, where I'm gonna go with it, Boba Fett, the Boba Fett saga. I liked it. WhatCulture ranked that really low, which it didn't deserve. I understand, like, some people were turned off how slow it started off, because they wanted to show, you know, how he came to be back alive when most people presumed he was dead. And then it also became sort of like Mandalorian 2.5. But I still liked it pretty much, which goes into the next one, obviously, The Mandalorian. So The Mandalorian was just so good. Like, you see that? There's another one. But The Mandalorian single-handedly made me really like watching Star Wars stuff again. Oh, I'm sorry, and I missed an animated thing. I'm gonna put that actually right. I'm gonna put that before. Should I say before Bad Batch? Yeah, I'm gonna put that before Bad Batch. It's called Star Wars Visions. It's actually an anime version of Star Wars. It's not canon, but what happened is Star Wars licensed the rights to Star Wars to all these independent Japanese anime studios, and they all made these different little short films, and they cobbled together, called it Star Wars Visions, which is on Disney Plus. And I don't mean to keep saying Disney Plus because I'm not getting paid to, but yeah, Visions was pretty good. Like, anime and Star Wars together, pretty good thing, since, you know, George Lucas did really like his Japanese samurai revenge stuff. So that was pretty good. I'm gonna put that below Bad Batch though. Now, like I said, getting back into like the top 4. At number 4, we're at Mandalorian. Because I know I haven't been counting, but you guys I think you can do the math, right? So Mandalorian is at number 4 for me. And number 3, as it should be, is Return of the Jedi. I don't know how they had it ranked so lowly. Again, I'm gonna put the link down so you guys can see that I'm not making this stuff up, and that I think they were smoking that nice UK crack over there. So Return of the Jedi was the only movie that I got to see when it was originally released. I think I was 7 when that came out. So I was just, I believe 7. So I was just old enough to really see it, because when Empire Strikes Back came out, I was still a baby. So it was Return of the Jedi I actually got to see in its original release in the theaters. All the other ones I saw either on cable or VHS. Okay, so that's number 3 to me, and I love that movie to this day. Number 2 is A New Hope. And the only reason it's not number 1, since even though it's the original one that's responsible for everything about it, is that Empire Strikes Back is just a way better film. So WhatCulture got those 2 right. This New Hope is number 2 and Empire Strikes Back is number 1. Like I said, otherwise A New Hope would be 1, but Empire Strikes Back was so dope. It was just so dope, okay, that it has to be number 1. So they got the 2 worst right, and they got the 2 best right. Everything else they got incorrect in my head. So you can follow what I put, or not what I put, but what I said. And actually, you know what? Just to make it easier, in the description, I'm gonna put my rankings so that you can follow what I said with that in the descriptions, and also their link to their video, how they rank theirs, and you can do a comparison yourselves and see what you think, and you can leave it in the comments if you disagree with me or not. All right, so I'm gonna go back in now that I've gotten some fresh country air. All right, guys, talk to you later.